The most challenging part about leadership theories are how they are mostly one-sided and exclusive. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie says it best in her TED Talk.
Stories matter. Many stories matter. Stories have been used to dispossess and to malign, but stories can also be used to empower and to humanize. Stories can break the dignity of a people, but stories can also repair that broken dignity.
So my integrative reflection paper is about aspiring BIPOC leaders have to do leadership differently than a white person.
And she says she don't see color. I say you can't see, period. How I must be invisible. How black women always fighting to be visible. How you think we just mad?
Here's the thing we have to understand. Leadership is systemic. We know this because of trait theory via great man theory. In the words of Thomas Carlyle, history is shaped by extraordinary leaders, and that the ability to lead was something you inherited at birth and not something that could be developed. Carlyle's reflection can come from a history of white leadership throughout history. Did you know in 1732, when George Washington claimed the U.S. a free nation from Great Britain, it would be 277 years of white presenting heterosexual cisgendered male presidents? The only fair assertion to make for BIPOC leaders in a trait theory leadership society is that BIPOC aspiring leaders have different points of entry than a white person. In Leadership for a Better World, written by Susan Comeves and Wendy Wagner, two white presenting women that accumulate BIPOC transformative work, their compilation explains critical pieces of historical changes from BIPOC leadership. Points of entry for BIPOC leaders is work that is based on community. Without our communities, we become product of this oppressive system.
It's the system! It's the president! It's the president!
When BIPOC leaders are taken into white spaces and other different leadership positions, such as higher education, the common complaint is that they are often tokenized. That means BIPOC leaders have greater risk. Not only was it hard to get here in a leadership position, it's hard to be here due to suppression, oppression, and no representation. So this is what I'm saying. Love the people of resistance more than the people appropriating the culture of resistance. When we learn about marginalized leaders, a crucial observation are their communities that brought them into leadership roles. Social change is the outcome from a mobilized effort to organize towards a common purpose. Immediately when BIPOC leaders are moved into positions that are considered greater, it is a form of tokenization to serve a wider community. Being the only one and being token to be the one is unsustainable for leadership because often we have to work through systemic fragility. And that's the discomfort a white person or institution experiences when they witness discussion around racial inequalities and injustices. This idea can come from the concept of transparency. Although the concept was not formally recognized as a leadership theory for this course, it deserves accreditation. Transparency is about the value and complexity that exists from discussing information truthfully. BIPOC issues, along with BIPOC leadership issues, will never become the center at PWIs until certain benchmarks are met. I have wondered how underserved scholars like myself compartmentalize our thoughts and emotions while being participants at PWI. And really, I think it's due to transactional leadership theory. How I see it, institutions are the leaders or catalysts that rely on their followers like marginalized scholars for production and legitimacy in addressing systemic issues at PWIs. In return, marginalized scholars receive some type of material, reward, or award, or paycheck. So here's Dr. Trong again, who I had interviewed for our leadership interview assignment, who discussed the importance of having a plan of action. That is determining to stay or to go. And at times when you feel like your exchanges have been compromised, this is a fair plan to turn to. Utilizing and learning about leadership theories for BIPOC scholars is disappointing when the overarching issue is that we are not recognized for who we are. As a Pacifica scholar looking into the leadership lens and not having one example of Pacifica representation, I am left to believe that I am not a leader and leadership is not Pacifica. Hopefully in my future academic career, I will be able to create a Pacifica leadership model that corresponds directly with my identity.
Dedicate this to all the Indigenous kids in the world, the original storytellers, and we can make it here.